Now, the Prime Minister is in focus today. Let's say he got an exemption to travel back to Sydney for Father's Day, then he's gone back to the ACT. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, he'll get no criticism from me, Laura. I think if he made a mistake, it was to ignore the advice of his own advisors. I'm sure he would have been told that this is not going to pass the front page test or the pub test, and it would probably be better that he didn't go. But look, he had a legal exemption. He's been separated from his family for some time. It was Father's Day. And of course, he's our Prime Minister, Laura. I mean, I know people say that one rule for some and another rule for others, but I still think being the Prime Minister means something. And, we're pretty tough on our leaders, and he's had a pretty tough time of it. People might have their views, including me, about what sort of a Prime Minister he is, but he is our national leader, and I think he's entitled to take the opportunity to be reunited with his family.
Yeah, look, it's been difficult where people have spent lockdown for weeks and weeks, almost 3 months in parts of Sydney. But, this all in it together motto we've heard doesn't quite feel it sometimes. Now, I'm not criticising Anthony Albanese, but he didn't spend or hasn't spent the whole 11 weeks in a Sydney lockdown either.
Well, I don't know whether it would have been within the rules, but it might have been better if Scott Morrison had just driven himself back to Sydney and done the round trip. But the rule, it does appear sometimes that maybe that he got special treatment, but he was in a different jurisdiction. He made the application. I've seen some terrible stories about people not being able to get into Queensland. That's a different jurisdiction, different rules. He made the application. It was approved. He did it within the rules. And again, I'm not going to be too critical.
All right, let's ask you about the UN then, because you might change your tune on this one, saying that coal workers need to find new jobs within 10 years. What did you think of that report?
Yeah, happy to offer plenty of criticism on this one, Laura. It was an extraordinary speech for a number of reasons. I mean, first of all, it contained a heavy criticism of Scott Morrison on his home turf in his own capital city. The special advisor praised the state premiers in Australia for signing up to zero net emissions, and therefore by exclusion was highly critical of the Prime Minister for not doing so. And look, Scott Morrison should sign up to net zero emissions. The whole world is doing so. Our leading companies are doing it. Our premiers are doing it. It's the right thing to do, and I predict by the end of the year he will do so. He'll have no choice. But on the other side of the equation, it was extraordinary because I thought it was poorly researched and demonstrated a poor understanding of Australia, our economy, and our markets. I mean, we have an enormous uptake of renewable energy in this country, and we will need our coal generators in the system, our younger ones, for more than a decade to keep the grid stable and to get more renewables into the system. I mean, our youngest generator is in Queensland. It shouldn't retire until 2050. We will need these generators in the system for a long time to come. Second, it fails to demonstrate any understanding of our markets. I mean, 80% of our coal is exported to our partners in Asia, including developing countries like India and China. If we stop digging up our coal, or the lights just go off in those countries, I don't think that would be a good thing. And of course, our coking coal, our metallurgical coal, fuels their development, allows them to manufacture the steel they so desperately need to further progress their development in those countries. Yeah. So we can't stop exporting coal, Laura. We shouldn't stop exporting coal. We are doing the right thing here in Australia. We are decarbonising our economy. Our per capita emissions have fallen 46% since 1990. We should make the commitment to net zero emissions, but what we need to do is more enthusiastically and energetically embrace low emissions technologies, which the world will need, the International Energy Agency tells us, if we are to meet our aspirations on net zero emissions.
Yeah, a bit longer conversation required about net zero emissions, but we will have it soon. Joel Fitzgibbon, we'll have to leave it there though. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Laura.